realized that what was happening, that each of my thoughts that I had from the very early time when I started thinking as a child in this lifetime, that each of those thoughts, they never disappeared. They're there. We have them. The mind keeps all those thoughts, right? Forever. They're there. And there comes a time, there may come a time when each of those thoughts can be followed. My mind was following all of these thoughts, one after another, from all the way when I was little, those trains of thoughts, all the way to the present. And that kind of focus was something that, of course, as you said, I was able to follow. It happened by itself, but the training of looking at something, focusing the mind, it's to focus on the mind is the secret of the whole thing. That's the focus of the mind. So I was painting for years, and I never gave up or anything. I kept on painting, especially after I had an experience in 1988 of the sixth chakra open suddenly. I didn't know what it was, but I saw something. And from that time on, I was painting in that certain way. I still do. And art is something that's a big...
Well, it seems to me that you've always pursued creative life. I mean, you chose to. You didn't realize you were.
Yeah,
I read your book, so I kind of,
When I was growing up, I thought about doing science, but then I thought that art is more. There is more freedom in art, and the way what art can tell us is more of unexpected results we can get through art, because science is just like...
But scientists also get unexpected results.
Yeah.
So that's a creative process too.
It is a creative process, but I simply chose art because I thought that art will allow me more of personal freedom.
But from a very early age, you were doing that, and why were you pursuing that? Because many people, myself included, I grew up in sort of an oppressive environment, and I just shook my fist at it and said, you can't make me do that, and kept doing that instead of breaking. And, you had the opportunities that you did to, and you took them.
Yeah, and
you were it seems like you were always sort of independent in your... I mean, that's my perception after reading your book.
Right, yes, that's true. I'm just trying to figure out at which point in my life it became so important that it became my passion, and I didn't look back. Because passion is something that I wanted to talk about too.
Well, didn't you did not look back when you had plans to go to France or wherever it was, and your boyfriend bailed on you, and you said, well, I'm going anyway.
Right, to England, that's true, yeah.
Oh, England.
I think we can probably get a lot of your history from the book. What I'm really curious about is kind of when you had all of these experiences, how did you come to understand your chakra?
Okay, yeah.
Like, how did you make the transition from your suicide, seeing this rainbow, to beginning to understand this system?
Right, yeah, of course. So today we will be able to talk about some of it. I don't know if it's probably not possible to explain everything, because it's a process called self-inquiry. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So self-inquiry is a very interesting process, and the person that who talks about it is Ramana Maharshi, right?
I sat in his cave in India.
Awesome. Yeah. So Ramana Maharshi is someone who who is probably the only one secular teacher who secular in the sense that he doesn't bring deities and gods and Krishna and Shiva and who else into the whole equation, and it's because he had his experience when he was 16, and then later he backtracked and was able to see the process of self-inquiry. And I think some of us have that tendency, some of us, but not all of us, have the tendency to think, but think philosophically, which is the 7th chakra. So generally, to answer your question at first, to try to answer it in a more compact way, is that each of the dimension offers a lot of information.